Thanks. So, when I came to the school, I was sure that one person of the staff knew who I was, and that's your principal, Dick Fransen, because he used to be my French teacher when I was still in high school. And I know that he remembers me for one fact, and that's because I didn't score higher than a 4 in any of his tests. And the reason I didn't score higher than a 4 in any of his tests was for a couple of reasons. First, I was extremely lazy. Second, probably puberty. But third, I was dreaming all day. So what was I dreaming about? One day, it could be flying cars that brought me home, because I was way too lazy to bike that 5 kilometers to home. The other day, it could be a toothbrush that brushed my tooth automatically, because I was way too lazy to brush my teeth. But I have a question for you. Who of you in this audience, sometimes on a random day, has an idea about a product or a thing or a tool that could make your life just a little bit easier? Show me your hands. Who had sometimes had such an idea? Okay, there's many people. Okay, keep your hands up, don't put them down. I have another question for you. Who of you guys who had an idea that could make your life a little bit easier actually went out there to execute your idea, to make it happen? Still some hands, a bit less. And that's what I want to talk about today. That is about ideas worth spreading. But that's not what I want to talk about. On TED stages, there have been many great people who've talked about how to cure the entire world from malaria, or how to provide education for tens of thousands of people in the world. But I don't have those ideas. The only thing that I did is execute some ideas. The idea that I want to talk about is ideas worth doing. First idea I want to talk about is Woodify, and actually it's a pretty long story. In high school, apart from failing French, I used to be the guy who was programming websites all day, besides from school, because, well, I like to code, and people paid me money for it, so I could buy video games. That was the kid I was, and I liked it. So when one day I was Skyping with a friend from America, and he told me that he bought a pair of wooden sunglasses, and he showed them to me over Skype, and I thought, whoa, these are awesome. I want to buy these. So I went Googling in the Netherlands, but no, there weren't any wooden sunglasses. So I went Googling in Belgium and Germany and the UK, still not any wooden sunglasses. And I continued searching for wooden sunglasses all across Europe, still couldn't find any. And then I went to China, where I did find them, because they make everything in China. And there were wooden sunglasses in China, so I bought them for, I think, $30 or something. And they were sent to me, and they arrived like 60 days later to my house in the Netherlands. And they were pretty cool. And then a couple of weeks later, a friend approached me and he asked me, do you know how to make a web shop? You know how to build websites, but do you know how to build a web shop? And I said, well, yeah, I do. Why? Yeah, I want to start one. Okay, cool. What product do you want to do? Yeah, I have no idea. Do you know something? So I said, well, I recently bought a pair of wooden sunglasses, and I kind of like them, but they're not available anywhere in the Netherlands, let alone in Europe. So that's how we started our company selling wooden sunglasses. We bought just 5 pairs of wooden sunglasses from China, because that was all the money we had back in high school. And that was our company. The first week was pretty solid. We sold like 5 pairs of wooden sunglasses, which was our entire stock. 2 to my parents, 2 to his parents, and 1 to a friend of us. So we were pretty happy. And from then on, we had money to buy some more. And we thought, well, let's do some marketing. But if you want to do marketing, you need a good picture. And we didn't have these slick pictures yet. Actually, we didn't have any pictures. But I had an iPod. So I made this picture. And actually, my mom photographed me doing it, because she said, you're ridiculous. No one will watch this picture, like, ever. And I'm making this picture now so we can laugh about it in 2 or 3 years. So here I was on a summer day in my bedroom at my parents' house. I got my iPod, put the pair of wooden sunglasses close to the window, and I made this picture. And what did you do back then on Facebook? You did like and share to win. That was everyone was doing. Everyone was sharing them, everyone was liking them, and everyone was being betrayed by companies because they never handed out a prize. So I did an Instagram filter, it's really ugly. I did some paint with the text on it, and we put it online. And in just 2 or 3 days, there were 2 million people who saw this on the internet. And I thought it was crazy. I couldn't understand what was going on. My dad went on to explain it to me. He said, well, Bastiaan, this is Amsterdam Arena. There are 50,000 people who fit in. If you got 40 Amsterdam Arenas, that's the amount of people that saw your picture in about three days. And it was crazy. And because of that, we sold hundreds of wooden pairs of sunglasses, but yeah, our stock was only 5 pairs of sunglasses. So there were many people angry at us, people banging on the windows in my parents' homes because they wanted their money back, because we even couldn't answer all the emails because there were so many people, and they went like crazy. But it's been one of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned in my life. We've sold over 10,000 pairs of wooden sunglasses, and I sold the company 1 year ago. So that was a great success. Then I started this company. We thought, well, we know how to run web shops. We went pretty well with Woodify. Let's do this shop. We made a Woolify, what we called it. Pretty creative with the name. And it was like a shawl, a hat, and a glove in one. And we thought it was pretty cool. Actually, we did some market research, and that showed that it would probably sell even better than our wooden sunglasses. So we bought 1,000 of them. Thought, well, let's go. This is going to be awesome. I still have 900 of those lying in my garage. So that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. My third story is about the Hyperloop. I think it was almost 2 years ago when I was sitting with a couple of senior students doing the same study as I do, in Delft, in the sun, drinking a beer, and talking about a plan released by Elon Musk, who's the founder of Tesla and SpaceX, and who's all kind of awesome stuff. And he said, well, I think it's possible to make a train that can run 1,000 kilometers per hour through a tube, and it's way more energy efficient than any method of transportation that we currently have. So we thought, well, that's awesome, let's prove it. And as we set off to prove it, Elon Musk launched a student competition. He said, well, student teams from all over the world, make your plan, design this pod, design this Hyperloop, and show me that it's possible. So we assembled a team of 30 people over the summer, and we went designing. We designed like 500 pages with all kinds of features to prove that it was indeed possible. And out of all those 150 teams, we got actually second at the competition, which is really awesome, just because we got started at a summer day. My last story is not about me, but it is about something I hear pretty often. I go to conferences like this quite a lot, actually way too often, because it only distracts me, but it is awesome. Come on, this is awesome tonight, right? Yeah, it is. So that's why I keep coming. And I think it happened over 10 times that some guy comes to me, usually they're like 50 years old, and they say to me, well, Bastiaan, listen to me, back in 2005, you were probably still a little kid, too small to understand what was going on, but I did understand what was going on. I had an idea to make a website on which you could share your videos with your friends and family. That's what they say to me. And then they come up with some sort of excuse. Usually they say, yeah, but I wanted to start going, but my wife said, no, you can't do it. It is too dangerous, don't do it. Or they say, no, I was too busy, I didn't do it, or some other kind of excuse. And then the bottom of the story is that they say, well, I could have been $2 billion richer because the founders of YouTube sold YouTube for $2 billion to Google. If only I would have got started at this day. Do you know how unlucky I am? And I think, no, you're not unlucky, you're just stupid. You had the best idea of the world, you only had to execute it, and you didn't do it. And I think that's a big, big lesson. Ideas alone are not worth any penny. Even a very good idea, like the YouTube idea, which was worth $2 billion, it was a really good idea, isn't worth a single penny if you don't get started. Second lesson, no one knows whether an idea will work or not. Woodify worked really well while my parents were laughing at me and saying, well, let's make pictures so we can laugh at you in a couple of years from now. Woodify, with the shawls, from which everyone thought it was going to be a big success, including market research and stuff, was a big failure. Steve Jobs, one of the best idea makers who we've ever had in this world, also had more than 10 projects and products he launched that were a complete disaster. So if someone is saying to you, no, your idea isn't going to work, they're lying, because they cannot know. No one in this world has like a glass ball or something to predict whether your idea will work or not. No one knows. And the second lesson is, just get doing. And that's my lesson to you guys. When you have an idea, just get doing, because that's the only way to find out whether it'll work. Thank you.